So after e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, what will happen if you play bishop b5? It's not the Italian, of course, because in Italian if we have bishop c4, but it is the bishop b5, the Ruy Lopez opening. It is one of the very positional but very aggressive opening for the white blade. And guys, today we are going to understand what is Ruy Lopez after bishop b5. Like how you should proceed after playing bishop b5. I am going to show you what will happen if your opponent plays a6, and I am going to show you what will happen if our opponent plays f6, the Berlin defense. So let's go with it. This is me Shubham Kumar, your host, and today we are going to understand some insane tricks in the Ruy Lopez. So now we have e4, e5, the standard king's pawn opening. Through this white is proclaiming the control over center. It's called the very aggressive opening because from the e4 you can unleash multiple gambits, way more threat to the black's king. Like we have f4, the king gambit, bishop c4. Alone, if bishop's opening, knight f3, bishop c4 is the Italian system, bishop b5. After knight f3, it's called the Ruy Lopez, that which we are going to study. We have knight c3, then we have f4, the Vienna gambit, that point c3 Ponziani. There are multiple threats that you can unleash. You can also go for a queen's attack, like the queen h5. One of the most preferable choice at the amateur level, but we are going to understand the Ruy Lopez. So we have bishop b5, now the Ruy Lopez. At this point of time, your opponent can play knight f6, one of the most favorite move of the Pragnananda. He always use Berlin defense against the Ruy Lopez. However, your opponent can play a6 also, kind of a traditional or classical Ruy Lopez defense. So we are going to look on both the ways. Let's say your opponent plays a6, called the Murphy defense or the classical line. Now, most of the players usually take this knight with the bishop, and that's not a good option. You have to simply use your this active bishop. So what can I do? Simply go with bishop a4 back. Now, most of the players are gonna play knight to this f6. That's fine. You have to go with the queen e2, controlling this diagonal and also making your queen more active, defending this pawn because knight is attacking this pawn, so we have to defend it. We don't want to go with a d3 because it will simply hinder our development phases. So we have queen e2. Now your opponent simply plays pawn b5 hitting on the bishop. We have bishop goes away. Now this is a very great threat at the f7 square. Now the most played move in this situation is bishop e7, preparing to go for a castle. And then only you have to play a4 hitting on this pawn, because the moment pawn takes pawn, we could take this pawn with the bishop and also hitting on this knight, that's fine. We could take this pawn with the rook, making this rook as very active, open rook file, and the moment they went for castle, we have rook slide over the king side. That's fine with us, right? That's why most of the players, actually 46% player plays v4, just blocking the just not taking the pawn here, just pushing forward b4 and also controlling more space. That's fine. Now, at this point of time, you have to play d4, striking the center. Now we have d6, defending this pawn. And guess what, guys? Here comes the best move. It's queen c4, hitting on the knight. So, what your opponent can do? Actually, most of the players actually forgot that their knight is under attack. So, they play castle. Like the 41% a player usually play castle. You could grab this knight for a free and you have a great point lead. If your opponent is not going to play for a castle, he can move his knight somewhere else. That's fine. Let's say they move their knight, but then they simply just move this square. They simply just forgot about this weak f7 square because that's a defense by the bishop. King moves, and guess what? We had this maneuver. So let's say king moves away again. And do you want to go like this or do you want to go like this? I will prefer this because after knight takes, queen takes, let's say king moves away again. You simply just grab this rook. You can also slide it back your king anytime you want. That's fine with you, right? So that's why, guys, knight is not gonna move at these squares. Instead, most of the players usually take this knight. I will take this pawn with the knight, hoping that we are going to take this knight with the knight, pawn takes knight, and black is only going to lose this one pawn. However, that's not the true case because after knight take this pawn, let's me just move this. After knight is this pawn, what you can do, simply ignore this knight, simply just take this pawn. That's fine. King moves. And guess what we have? Knight take this knight here. You don't have to go bishop to this e6 check on the king because knight will take this bishop. That's blunder. So we have pawn takes knight. And now you have bishop check, king moves away, bishop check, knight takes, queen takes. And let's say king moves away. You have simply this maneuver. Let's say bishop moves away. Grab this queen. Let's say rook take this queen. So guys, this was the first setup in which we have discussed how should white respond after a6. Let's see the most played move by the black players and the best move actually. It's knight to this f6, the Berlin defense. And now only you have to play very logically. So that's why I'm here, guys. Don't worry. You just have to subscribe my channel. Okay, so you will find out that how to play chess more logical. So don't worry, I'm here for you. Now, simply go for a castle. Then we have knight against pawn. That's fine. You have rook to this e1, hitting on this knight, hitting on this pawn simultaneously. After bishop to this knight, this pawn is just hanging because this is a double attack. That's fine. With a check, oh, that's great. Let's say knight moves away at d6, hitting on the bishop. You have to grab this pawn with the knight. Now, I'm not saying everyone is gonna do this mistake, but believe me, 11,563 people. Okay, not this. Sorry. But believe me, 11,563 people are gonna do this mistake. So knight takes this bishop, and then only you have knight takes this knight with a discover check and also attack on the queen. Let's say queen defend. Just grab this queen with the knight. That's fine. I have a very great advantage. You are going to win this game in no time. Let's now if black doesn't take this bishop with the knight, instead he takes knight with the knight, then you could grab this knight, defend this bishop. That's fine. Oh, so that's a check also there. So that's fine with you. But I would recommend knight c3, one of the very great move and a very tactical move, because you are actually adding your own another piece into the attack. Earlier there was only rook and a bishop, but right now we have a knight also. That's actually very fine. Now your opponent can play in three moves. This knight against bishop. We have bishop e7 and f6 to defending this knight. We are going to look at both of these things. Let's say if knight takes this bishop, then don't worry, simply just grab this knight with the rook, hitting on the knight. Let's say queen defend, that's a blunder, because you could grab this queen, that's fine. So that's why bishop has to block it. And you could take this knight, but that will simply shift your attack. I mean, you are hitting on this square, and the most important piece is king only. So you have to concentrate your attack on the king, not on the knight, because that's knight is not doing anything. Don't worry. So you have to go with knight d5, hitting on this bishop again, because that's actually very crucial because we have double attack here. If your opponent play castle, then that's a mistake because you simply just grab this bishop with the bishop with the knight check here on the king. So queen can't take it because queen will simply lose her life. So here, yes, that's why king h8. You can simply grab this bishop, queen takes, rook takes, and at the end of the line you have a 3-point lead. I mean, you are a full piece up. That's fine. Let's say your opponent doesn't play castle. At this point, he doesn't play castle. Instead, play d6, hitting on this rook. Then you can simply just take this bishop. King moves away and rook comes back. That's fine again because you have exposed this king. This rook is actually lost. And engine rating suggests plus 1.4 something. So that's fine with you, right? Okay. We are back on the similar position, guys. We have discussed knight this bishop. Let's say what will happen if your opponent plays f6, defending this knight. Believe me, this diagonal is actually very big. This f7 has become very weak, so you can use the queen at h5 some point of time. Don't worry, I will show you how. Simply go with pawn to d4, hitting on this knight. This knight is just lost because that's a pin. That's fine. Let's say knight take this bishop. That's great. You have pawn take this knight. Knight takes knight. We have pawn takes pawn with a discovered check. King moves away and we have pawn takes pawn, hitting on this rook again. Let's say knight takes. We have pawn take this rook with another queen, so don't worry. Therefore, bishop takes, and yes, queen h5 check on the king. Then we have king goes to f8. You could go like this, but that's a mistake. So that's why you have to go, yes, bishop g5, hitting on this queen. Because queen can't escape, right? Because if queen to this e8, you could simply just grab this and that just checkmate, so that's fine. Therefore, bishop has to block it, and then we have bishop check on this king. Let's say king moves away, you have rook to this e8, going for the check, queen takes, and we have this maneuver. Guess what? That just checkmate. That's actually fine with you. Let's say bishop g7, blocking this check. Then you have to play very great move. It's queen e5, going for this checkmate threat. So that's why your opponent has to do something. Let's say if bishop takes bishop, that's a blended because we have this check. No one can block it. King moves away and simply just win this queen. That's again fine with you. Let's say your opponent plays something at, let's say he play rook g8, defending this square. Then we have what? Queen f5 check. Queen blocks, queen takes queen, and that's again checkmate because that's a pin. So bishop can't take this queen. Great. Now we have to discuss one another move, and that's bishop e7, just giving up this knight. Some of the player actually plays it. So don't worry, bishop e7 is one of the very most played moves. Then you could simply grab this knight. That's fine. This bishop is pinned for the time being. So castle, and we have bishop goes away. I mean, hitting on the s7 square, that's fine. Let's say they go with our bishop f6, hitting on this rook. Simply just drop your rook back. That's fine. Their opponent if become unaware of what he is doing, or if your opponent become careless and he played any random move, let's say he played b6, then guys you have very great maneuver. It's actually bishop sacrifice, king takes, we have queen check, king moves away, and yes, rook to this h3. Simply a checkmate threat in one move. Nothing can block at this point of time. The only thing that the opponent can play is bishop blocking, rook takes, queen takes, and then only your opponent could save little bit of time, because then nothing is present, right, to support the queen h7 checkmate. But it's literally game over. You can simply win this game in no time. So that's why, guys, the opponent has to play rook e8, one of the very stable move. Then we have knight d5, defending this rook and also hitting on the bishop, because that bishop is actually pain in you know what. So let's say rook takes rook. We have pawn take this rook. That's fine. We have pawn to c6. You know this knight. Knight take bishop. Queen takes knight. And now, guys, the situation is actually playable for the white. If you will look at the engine suggests plus 1.3 rating. That shows that white has actually very great position advantage. Even though the material balance is equal, but you have very great development, you have great position advantage, you have very great protected king. Meanwhile, your opponent, yes, have a locked bishop, but you don't have. I mean, you can simply go with pawn to e4, and your bishop is actually very active. You have queen h5 hitting on this square, and that just a threat to instant. Okay, it won't end up in the checkmate, but it is actually very fatal attack, you know. So that's why you have multiple threats to unleash, and if you would logically, you can simply win this game. That's the best position you can get out of Ruy Lopez if you're playing at the advanced level. Plus 1.3 rating is nothing, is not bad, you know. You can win this game in no time. So guys, these were all the tactics in the Ruy Lopez that you can try at multiple stages of your chess life. So this is me, Shimam Kumar, your host. And if you have liked this video, do comment, share and subscribe the channel. Okay, so I will do next video. Till then, take care.